Ah, what a beautiful morning. I'm Johnny Scoville, and this is Chase the Heat. Man, it's a gorgeous day here. Sitting in a different spot, catching different light this morning. Today I'm doing something I rarely, let's see if I've ever done this before. Going through the memory banks, people. I don't think I ever have. Have I ever done an unboxing and a review of a sauce in the same video, or it's usually just in one or the other? Here I have a box. This is from my old stomping ground, sort of. From Vermont. Not from Vermont. I was born in New York, but I spent a lot of my youth growing up in Vermont. Went to college in Vermont. They're still talking about me in Vermont. I was wanted in Vermont for a long time. Traffic tickets and stuff like that. When I was a kid, I was the dumb guy who would get a ticket and just kind of forget about it. I was so irresponsible as a kid. So I had some speeding tickets in Vermont. But I tell you what a beautiful state it is, man. It's just incredible. Anyway, I've got some stuff from Vermont Pepper Project. So a big shout out and thank you to the guys from the Vermont Pepper Project. They're located in, I believe they're in Rutland. You know what we used to call Rutland when I grew up? It is, they're in West Rutland. We used to call it Rut Vegas. Rutland. But I'm excited about this, so I'm going to do a opening, an unboxing, and we're going to review one all in the same motion, like a clean and jerk. It's a lifting term. You know I love a letter. You know I didn't even do a thumbnail. You know what I didn't do? I didn't do said thumbnail. Watch this. You won't know this. See, you saw the thumbnail. That's where the thumbnail came from. So I'll have to remember somewhere like 3 minutes in is where I did the thumbnail. I'll go in there and get it. You know what's really weird? There was no notifications on yesterday with YouTube. I did a funny video, uploaded a funny video. It was just Tommy and I trying to get a thumbnail. So few people saw it. It's just like yesterday. Go look at it. It's hilarious. Letter from the boys in Vermont. This is from Alex. So thank you, Alex. It says, "Hi, Johnny. Thanks for reaching out." I did. I reached out to them. I thought Vermont, a Vermont sauce company. So I reached out to them. I hope you enjoy these. I included our two most popular and two hottest. Death Grip is in super limited supply. Some quick little info about Vermont Pepper Project. Started in 2020. Very cool. Grow the bulk of our own peppers. How cool is that? Some unique flavors. Emphasis is on local ingredients. Later in the year, I may have some pepper crosses to send over. Thanks again, Alex. All right. Man, here's the weird thing. I promise you, I know people he knows. Or we'd be able to, if we sat down and started naming people we knew, we'd be able to, it's just the way Vermont is. It really is. That's the way Vermont is. I got into a cab once. It was an Uber with Johnny Jr. And the guy had an accent. And I just said, "Dude, you're from Maine, Vermont. Where are you from?" And he said, "Vermont." I said, "No." He goes, "How do you know?" I said, "I got the accent. I can tell." And I said, "Where in Vermont?" I said, "Before you tell me where in Vermont, I promise you I probably know people you know." And he tells me he's from Killington. And if you're from Vermont, Killington, it's Killington. Everybody knows Killington. So I said, "You gotta be kidding me." So I said, we started talking. And I said, "You know," I said, "I haven't been there a long time, but I'll name a few places so you know that I'm not kidding." I said, "Casey's Caboose, the Back Behind Saloon, Outer Limits." I grew up on Outer Limits, which was, if you know, mogul skiing. It was like the gnarliest mogul trail. Still is. You could stand on the hill, like put your arm out this way and touch the mountain. That's how steep it was. And that's, I mean, if you stop and put your arm this way, you could touch. It was just, you almost had one shot at it. But anyway, I got in the car. He started telling me people he knew, and I was like, "Man, I know. How about the Back Behind Saloon?" I won't say the owner's name, but I'm like, I know the owner. It was funny. He did too. So my son was in the back just looking at me like, he must think. So we get out of the car. I'm like, You think I'm like Gandalf the White, right? I know everybody. It was a pretty funny moment. All right, so these are the sauces that I've got from Vermont Pepper Project. Super excited about it. I'm gonna pick one of them this morning. And it is morning. I mean, the sun just came up literally 30 minutes ago. Not even 30 minutes ago. Maybe 20 minutes ago, the sun popped over yonder mountain. All right, so these are the different flavors, and they tuck this away so I don't have bags blowing everywhere. Of course, it's not blowing anything, but... All right, here we have the Golden Child. It's the shadow of the camera. This is Sicilian Ghost. That's funny. I'm an Italian man. Italian descent. We have a brush with death, which is really cool because I had one right there, just a short time ago. Oh, and I love this. This is so cool. This is Death Grip. Caution, wicked spicy. Oh, I love this. I gotta show Tommy. And it's got a Vermont license plate that says brisket on it, but it's wicked spicy. Oh, it's so Vermont. Clarendon Springs, Vermont. Carolina Reaper peppers, apple cider vinegar, water, bourbon, Macintosh apples, honey, garlic, brown sugar, Carolina Reaper. All right. So this is gonna be the really hot one. It's insanely spicy, it says. It's wicked spicy. I love that they said that. I'm not gonna do this one today, just because I want to build up to it. Now that I haven't eaten anything yet. Brush of Death. I'm gonna build up to that one. We're gonna start with the more milder stuff and then move our way up. I think Golden Child sounds perfect for this morning. Let's do the Golden Child, shall we? Clarendon Springs, Vermont. Although it was sent from West Vegas, I really have a love affair, long love affair with Vermont. Vermont's a beautiful place. Want to hear a funny story about Vermont? I've been there. I grew up there, right? This is a funny story. I hadn't been back in 20 years. I was dating a person that, a doctor. She and I were dating. She watches the show, so if you're watching, hey, how you doing? We went to, I hadn't seen the place in a million years, and we walked by a person. They're like, how you doing? And the guy knew me. He's like, just, not like, and just kind of waved at me and said hi and kept walking. Not like, dude, I haven't seen you in 20 years. How are you? Unbelievable. Just so, like as if he had seen me yesterday. Very strange. Natural ingredients: yellow mustard seed, apple cider vinegar, water, habanero peppers, fatale peppers, smoked Fresno, love them, maple syrup, and you know it's the good stuff coming from Vermont. Smoked garlic, smoked onion, lime juice, turmeric, salt, black pepper, naturally vegan and gluten-free. Can you handle the heat? Can ya? It's got 2 out of 5 peppers on their heat scale. All right, so it's www.vermontpepperproject.com. There will be a link in the description box. Made in Vermont. The Vermont Pepper Project isn't just a delicious hot sauce, it's a lifestyle. Enjoy this locally made, naturally sourced bottle of Vermont raised peppers. Let's keep the party going. That's crazy. I love it. Vermont's a funny place, man. I should do like a Vermont trivia thing. Calvin Coolidge was from Vermont. He was a president, as you probably all know. And one of the first things he did when he became president, he enacted a bill, and it's never been changed. And it said, this bill said there will never be billboards in Vermont. And to my knowledge, it certainly is the only state I've ever been in where you can drive through and never see a billboard anywhere. It is beautiful. And you don't realize it because you just see them everywhere. It's just part of life. It's like they're just advertising. Everywhere you look is a billboard, something. Buy. And in Vermont, there isn't. Vermont's an interesting place, man. Really, really is. Really cool looking sauce. There's you can see specks of pepper in there. You can certainly see the mustard influence and the turmeric color. And I did bring my tasting spoon today, so I will not be tasting this on my anatomical snuff box. What did he say? What did he just, wait, what? Let me go back. listen to it again. It's a real thing. Let me read this to you. Dare to pair, approved by our friends and family. Oh, I gotcha. I gotcha. Oh, so this is what they're suggesting. Oh, this is good. Our mission, keep Vermont hot sauce weird. Vermont Pepper Project is a spicy culinary experience with recipes rooted in family and friends and deep appreciation for the state of Vermont. But here's the funny thing. I promise you they're still talking about, telling stories about me there. Why, Alex? They may have heard some of them. There's a unique story behind each sauce, and flavor is paramount. I wouldn't say it if it wasn't true. We focus on using as many local and homegrown ingredients as possible. All of our chili peppers are grown less than 200 yards from our hot sauce kitchen right here in Vermont. Handcrafted hot sauce, Clarendon Springs. Pretty cool. If I ever get back, I shouldn't say if, I'll get back to Vermont one day. And when I do, that is a place I will go visit. Being the hot sauce guy that I am. All right. Let's smell this. Ooh. Smells like Vermont. No, I'm kidding, but definitely getting the influence from the mustard. I'm getting the garlic for sure. And there's a smoky aroma, but it's kind of subtle. It really has a nice aroma. It's beautiful color. I'll do it like this so the sun can, I don't know if I can get it. Here's the poor people. Look at that, like a commercial, huh? Like I've said before, people, that doesn't happen day one. It's years of practice. Vermont Pepper Project, Golden Child, from Clarendon, Vermont. Not Clinton, Clarendon, Vermont. I am Johnny Scoville, and this is Chase the Heat. That's a wicked complex sauce. A lot of stuff going on there. For instance, the very first thing I tasted, that you probably would too, is the mustard. Okay? It used to be so good on dogs or brats. Oh. But you'll taste the mustard first. There's a smokiness that comes from the smoked Fresno, the smoked garlic. A little bit of sweetness from the maple syrup. I kind of got to look for the lime juice to get that citrus in there, but the black pepper is the finish. It's funny, it's a complex sauce. Wicked, Alex. Oh. All right, so the heat source is the habanero and the Fresno. Enfetol, excuse me. But it's not, boy, you know what? I'm sort of impressed that they scaled it right. That is a 2 out of 5 on the scale. The reason I say I scale it right is these may be chili heads. I'd like to visit them and see their operation. That would be such a cool, you know what I should do? Oh. Tommy and I should do a road trip back home, like from coast to coast, and end up where we started, Vermont. I'd have to talk to him about that, but I'd love to come visit these guys. This is a good sauce, Golden Child. This would be so good on brats or hot dogs, burgers. It really is neat. All right, so I did pull together, I know it's kind of a longer video because I did an opening too, but I did pull together a few really interesting things. Crazy, silly information. Why was Han Solo frozen in carbonite? Do you guys know that? There's a lot of, got a lot of fans out there. So if you're a fan of the series. Tell me why Han Solo was frozen in carbonite. I'll tell you. Harrison Ford only had one Star Wars sequel included in his contract, so writers wanted to allow for different narrative options before he signed on for the next film. So they kind of froze him up. So we'll decide what to do with you later. Why do you think U.S. police officers wear blue? You ever wonder about that? I'll tell you. The original uniforms were surplus uniforms of the Union Army. So they had a ton of surplus uniforms from the Union Army and said, hey, you know what? We'll give all the cops that. And they said, hey, it works. We'll stick with it. So ever think about this? I never did. How come there are no green mammals? No mammals are green. Even though green would be an obvious color to help them camouflage, mammalian hair can only be produce two types of pigment: black, brown, yellow, and reddish. So there are no green mammals. Why does crying make your nose run? Mornings do too. But why does crying make your nose run? You ever wonder why? Tears run down due to water overflowing in your eyes. Your eyes can hold about 7 microliters. I bet you never knew that. Your eyes can hold 7 microliters before they overflow. Overflowing tears can also flood the ducts, go into your nasal passage, leading to a runny nose. Why do people, this is a fascinating one. I haven't told Tommy about this yet, but I guess everybody does this. I literally, like, unless I'm in a room where I have to sit down to take a phone call, or if I'm doing a live stream or something, like if I'm sitting here and I get a phone call, I can't sit still. I have to move. Listen to this. Why do people pace when they're talking on the telephone? Our brains are used to talking to people face to face, okay? Mutual physical feedback is lacking when we're on the phone, so our brains translate our own emotional responses into physical movements. Now, you got to wonder, is that going to change over time? Because how much, think about the percentage of face-to-face communication we have today in 2024 compared to, 500 years ago, or even 30 years ago, right? It was all face. I mean, if you want to go back before, the telephone stopped some of that, because before the phone you could write letters. With each advancement in communication, less face-to-face happens, You know what I mean? It's just true. When you can write, less face-to-face happens. When you can call people, less face-to-face happens. When you can Skype people, it's sort of face-to-face. But I mean, with each level of communication, less face-to-face interface happens. So you got to think about, like, the cave. They say that fish, like there are cave fish that are blind, and they say that through evolution they realized that they didn't need eyes, so they just quit making them because there was no need for them. Do you think there'd ever be a time where, because of there's so less and less face-to-face communication, that people would no longer pace if they're on the phone with somebody? A lot of talking to get to that question, wasn't there? Why are carrots orange? Because they just are. Although the history is sketchy, one story goes that Dutch farmers cultivated orange carrots in honor of William of Orange. But how can you even trace that story? Just a good one, right? It sounds good. Why did Yukon Cornelius lick his pickaxe? Now, first of all, I'll answer it first, and we'll go back. In the classic Christmas film, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, the deleted scene shows that the prospector is actually looking for peppermint. Why did Yukon Cornelius lick his pickaxe? Well, that should be on like a game show or something. First of all, how many of you knew his name was Yukon Cornelius? Anyhow, we're going to move on to the next one. How in the world are tattoos permanent? Did you ever wonder that? And they really are. They have found, mummies that had tattoos. They've been doing this forever. I mean, you can modify your body. You're gonna. But anyway, here it is. Cells in your immune system called macrophages eat the ink and pass it on to their replacements when they die. So as your skin grows and dies, it's there for good. It's passing that stuff on to the next level. Isn't that crazy? This is sort of an interesting one. How come so many, let me see, by the way, I only have 3 more after this. Why did so many Hanna-Barbera characters wear ties and collars? You ever notice that? Think about it. Your Pink Panther, naked except for a bow tie and a collar, right? A collar and a bow tie. Fred Flintstone, he had the fur vest, but he had a collar on it and a tie. Yogi Bear, nude as can be, wore a tie. Porky Pig, no pants, jacket, you know? Anyway, neck ornaments made characters easier and cheaper to animate, allowing the artist to draw the head and body separate. I guess you have to be an animator to really connect with that one. How come owls move their heads to look around? Does that seem like a silly question? Owls' eyeballs are tube-shaped, so they can't move their eyes. So they can't do one of these numbers. They've literally got to do one of these. So we can do that. They can't do that. So they have to move their entire dome piece. Their moms must love that they can't do the eye roll. That's what it says here. Interesting. Owl's a great, great bird. It's my favorite bird. All right, so I guess we'll do one more. This is the last one. Why are movie theater seats red? Want to know why? There's a reason. Red is the first color in the human eye that the human eye loses in low light situations, which allows you to concentrate more on the screen during your picture show. Movie reference. Who got that one? All right, thank you for hanging out with me. I got a great ride I'm going to do. I'm going to do another tincture ride. I don't know where I'm going to go, but I'm going to do a full hour this time. I'm going to make sure I don't. I didn't have enough space on my SD card yesterday. That really frustrated me because I wanted to do a full hour in Switzerland. But I'm going to do an hour today, so hopefully you guys will join me. I love you guys a lot. Thank you, Vermont Pepper Project. This is a great sauce, Golden Child. In the description box, you're going to see a link for it. It is tasty. And if I get to next time I'm in Vermont, I'm looking you boys up. We're gonna go eat some peppers. Love you guys. In the description box, Vermont Pepper Project. Please check them out. Right there is my son Johnny Jr. Please check out his channel. It's great. Chip off the old blockhead. Right there is Tommy Scoville, my baby brother. Right there are all the challenges I've done. Right there's Pepperology for all you new chili heads. It's gonna be a great day. I'm Johnny Scoville, and this was Chase the Heat.